Hi, my name is Rachelle Levitsky and I'm a portfolio educator with Loreal Professional. Today I'm going to share some tips, tricks, and how-tos on the Blond Studio portfolio. Let's get right into it. I'm going to share with you the newest addition in the Blond Studio portfolio. It's Blond Studio 9. Blond Studio 9 has a powdered texture, and when mixed with its very own developers, 20 and 30 vol, it turns into a creamy consistency. The developers are enriched with oil, Oli Care Complex, and it improves the hair's cosmeticity. I have a bowl right here, ready to be mixed. You can see the consistency of the developer. It is creamy and the hair comes out so soft. And my recommendation, a little fun fact, is to mix it like you're baking. Fold that lightener in. We want to mix it, not whip it. Trying to pump as little air into the lightener as possible. This lightener doesn't expand. It stays where you put it, which is really nice. See how it's mixing up? It's like a beautiful creamy consistency. It has a really fast takeoff. So you're going to see a lift within the first 10 minutes. And this lightener is made for dark hair. When trying to get maximum levels of lift, you know that hair that just won't lift? You've got your level 3 hair and you're trying to get it to a level 6, 7, 8, and 9, and it just won't get there. Well, this is a great lightener for that. I'm gonna grab a brush and I am going to apply it to a mannequin so you can see the consistency. I am all set. I've got my gloves on, safety first. I have a tail comb. I brought over some foil. I have a couple different planchettes I like to use. And of course my Blond Studio 9. I mixed it with 20 volume at a 1:2 mixing ratio. Look at that adherence. It has definitely a stay put texture. And of course, I brought over my mannequin. I am going to share with you an enclosed foil and a balayage technique. This is a Multitecnique lightener. I did a balayage piece, and look at that, it didn't go through. It sits like a nice thick frosting cream cheese. Well, you're getting your maximum levels of lift because it's 9 levels of lift. And I did an enclosed technique as well. I'm going to repeat that for you on this side to share with you what that looks like and how the consistency of the product works. When we're mixing this product, it is being mixed with 20 and the 30 volume. And the mixing ratios are global application with 20 volume only. 30 volume is not for on scalp, please. And that mixing ratio is 1:2 or 1:3. Your enclosed foils can be used with the 20 and 30 volume with a mixing ratio of 1:1 or 1:2. And your recommendation for balayage open air is a mixing ratio of 1:1. And you can use that 20 and 30 volume as well with that technique. So I'm going to show you the enclosed technique first. I'm going to start my application with the Metal Detox pre-treatment. This will help protect the hair, remove any metals out of the hair, gives 87% less breakage when used with lightener and 100% color result. So I take the hair, I spray on 2 pumps, comb it through, I mix up my lightener, come back and apply. I am going to do a spaghetti-sized weave and making sure that it's thin enough for the product to go through onto the foil. Taking my foil, locking it in, and I'm going to take my product, the Blond Studio 9, and apply it. Making sure that application is nice and thick, folding in the ends of the hair. What's really cool about the Blond Studio line is the color of the lighteners are all blue, but they change in depth depending on which lightener you're using. This will help you when you have multiple bowls on the go and you're looking down going, which one was I using? The Blond Studio 7 has the lightest blue, Blond Studio 8 with Bonder, a little bit darker, Multitecnique 8, even darker, and Blond Studio 9 has your darkest blue. That is the enclosed foil. A little fun fact is making sure that the application is thick enough to envelop the hair fiber. This product does not expand. So if the product is not wrapped around the hair fiber, you may get some patchiness. So making sure that hair is thin enough for the product to push through and making sure that it's thick enough so that it can push into the hair and get that maximum level of lift you're looking for. My balayage piece. Blond Studio 9 is going to develop for up to 50 minutes. I would definitely take a peek and check in before that. This is a powerhouse and it is made for darker levels because it works so fast. And on those darker levels, we like that extra push because it's hard to lift, right? Pushing through reds and orange undercoats. I have my planchette. Watch this. So smooth. A nice creamy texture. I really, really like this product for how it moves. So for the balayage, making sure that the product is layered on thick enough so that it can get its maximum levels of lift. So starting in zone 1, working my way down to zone 3. I'm going to start with the lightest application and getting thicker as I go down. I'm going to do the original V. The original French balayage. And I just really like to layer that product on, making sure it is nice and thick, covering all the hair. I don't want to see the hair. I just want to see, am I covering this? Here you go. I just want to see the product. Just like so, and then I'm going to saturate those ends. Check the underneath, give it a little tap, and it has not come through. It is sitting nicely on top. So that is the open air balayage, and you can use 20 or 30 vol. No heat, please, with this product. It is not necessary. And there it is, Blond Studio 9. Let's take a minute to recap. Blond Studio 9 is the newest addition to the Blond Studio family. It's a powder lightener when mixed with its very own developers, 20 and 30 vol. There's no 40 in this lineup. It turns into the most beautiful creamy consistency. The developers, they're enriched with oil, Oli Care Complex, which helps improve the cosmeticity of the hair. Blond Studio 9 has 9 levels of lift and has a fast takeoff. Great for those dark bases when you're having to get through those difficult undercoats. It has a stay put adherence, which leads me to a fun fact. When applying Blond Studio 9 to the hair, making sure it's applied in a thick, creamy consistency to envelop the whole hair fiber, to allow it to push itself into the hair because it does not expand. So you want to make sure that it's thick so it stays wet, as well as able to get in the hair in thin sections to get maximum levels of lift. It has optimum neutralization, and it's a multi-technique lightener, global, enclosed, freehand, and balayage techniques. Its mixing ratios when you're mixing for global are 1:2 to 1:3 with 20 volume only, no 30 volume with Blond Studio 9 on scalp. Enclosed, the mixing ratio is 1:1 to 1:2 with the 20 and 30 volume. Freehand and balayage mixing ratio is 1:1 with the 20 and 30 volume. Processing time up to 50 minutes and no heat, please. This is a Power House Lightener. It doesn't need heat. Thank you so much for joining me today. My handle is @rachellelevitskystylist. Thank you.